Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. Carragher fights shot at Salah, personal hatred and malicious intent in the interview, of course. Even though Salah maybe did something wrong when he's calling out Arne Slot and all the stuff, but Jamie Carragher made it all about himself, of course, and his hatred that is there for Mohamed Salah. That is my opinion. I won't change that. He took it personal, and he went personal, talking about Egypt and talking about his time at Chelsea, but he failed to mention that actually Mohamed Salah was one of the biggest culprits in him seeing the number 20 for his club. That's something that he has never won as a Liverpool player, never lifted the Premier League. That is Jamie Carragher for you, but Mohamed Salah is there. Hit the like button, people. We're talking about Chelsea and Manchester United on the same points in the Premier League table. Surprise, surprise. After 15 games, terrible Man United are title contenders, along with Chelsea title contenders, of course. If Chelsea are title contenders, Man United are title contenders. And we're talking about, will Arsenal panic? Because City are behind them. A lot of City fans are talking, of course, but are they going to panic? But we got here, Couch Critic, of course, a Chelsea fan, of course, is here with all his reviews and absolutely calling out his team on his review. Go and check out Couch Critic and his latest review. Canadian Cam, of course, is here, repping Man United and American football, as you see behind him. Absolute legend in Canada. And Don Hussam, my brother, my Arab brother today, that just thumped Egypt 3-0 with the Jordanian team. He just sent me the picture. I had no idea they were playing, but anyway, it is what it is. You know,
what was that, friendly? Was it friendly? No,
there is something
Arab
called
Cup.
Arab Cup,
Ooh.
and
Arab
I
Cup.
don't know who's
No,
playing
it's
for the Egypt.
recognized by FIFA.
Yeah, it's recognized. Yes. Actually, Syria and Palestine went ahead to the second round ahead of Tunisia and Qatar, which is nice to see.
Yeah,
Actually,
plenty of shock this tournament.
yeah. Big up everyone that is here, guys. 400 people, and we're just starting the show. Let's get the likes up to 300, 200, and I want to hear your votes. As of now, 78% are siding with Salah, and actually 22% are siding with Jamie Carragher. Listen,
Oh, is that the options? Why is JB Carragher an option?
Why is he even an
What are we
option?
doing here?
I agree. It should
because
be.
I'm gonna can I explain to you why? I wake up today. You know, we're all three like 6-7 hours behind the UK.
Yeah.
So yesterday, number one, I couldn't sleep. I kept checking Twitter. So I go to sleep. I wake up. It went from Liverpool versus Salah or Slot versus Salah to basically it's either you side with Carragher or Salah. It's turned into an ex-player and a current player against each other. No one is talking about Arne Slot. Jimmy Carragher succeeded being a mouthpiece for the football club to shift it from Arne Slot need to get sacked and Arne Slot failing at Liverpool. This is what happened, guys. And that's my opinion. Salah is a little bit of an idiot for speaking and saying some stuff that he said. Basically, I believe that it was wrong for some stuff that he said, but there are some stuff that are correct. They took it, Liverpool Football Club, and they made it's Salah now versus Carragher. No one talking about Arne Slot today. Everyone is talking about Arne Slot can turn it around. So it switched. And this is Salah's fault.
So
But
all that tells me then is the club has no intentions of firing Slot then. So realistically,
I think Salah played into their hands. In my opinion, what Salah did, now they're back in Slot. Oh, he's gonna turn it around. But maybe if he loses today, they will sack him. We know that.
It feels like if you change the narrative to being that, now it's like all the conversations off of the manager and it's on to Carragher, which is
It's off the team as well. It's Salah versus Carragher. It's all about Salah's history.
It's a weird one because I think there's like everybody's kind of in the wrong in this one. I really do. I think, you know, Salah, the one thing he probably shouldn't have said is like, well, we'll see what happens. I may not come back after, you know, I go to like the AFCON. Like probably leave that part out. I don't see any issue with him saying, like, listen, I've been a servant to the club. I helped you win last year. I don't get why I'm on the bench. Like that part, I don't really see an issue with because realistically, when you bench a player, you've got to win, right? When you bench your best player, you have to win. You have to, and they won one without him, but then they didn't. So it's kind of like it leveled out where you're like, so it's not really Salah's the issue technically. Like it kills that argument whenever you bench your best players. That's how I've always thought in any sport. If you're going to take a stance against a star, which a lot of coaches do, it happens in cross sport because that's how they control like the dressing room. That's how they gain control. That's how they say, you know, this is the problem. I'm trying to fix it. But if you don't win, it makes you look bad. So like I'm shirking the Jamie Carragher part because like I really have no I don't even want to talk about this dude. Like whenever he says somebody's a disgrace, I'm like, you literally spit on somebody. You're not allowed to call anybody.
The guy's a scumbag.
Like, you're not allowed. Like you literally
full-on scumbag.
On camera just corking on somebody. Like you're just not allowed to talk about people being a disgrace. And he contradicts himself left, right, and center. So I don't really want to talk about him. For me, it's more about.
No, but it is about him because what he said about Salah being a failure.
Okay, well,
I want to ask you guys a question for real. That is now, listen. I woke up today and I'm thinking about that and I'm going to ask Hussam this question. Genuinely, guys. I'm not taking anything from other people in the chat. Listen to this is very important. I'm not taking anything away from what Salah did with Liverpool last season. Gravenberch, getting McAllister, getting the best out of Salah, Trent and all of this. But I'm going to ask you guys a question. If there was another manager instead of Arne Slot last season, do you think Liverpool would have won the league?
I mean, that's hard to say.
Maybe
it's hard to say.
If what?
If there is another manager other than Arne Slot, let's say Liverpool last season hired Zidane or hired Xavi, would Liverpool have won? If Salah was not there last season with Arne Slot, would Liverpool have won the league?
No,
I don't think so. Because here's the reason why. Because the beginning of the year, all I was hearing from Liverpool supporters is how great he is as a manager. He made all these changes, you know, Gravenberch in the midfield, this, that, and the other, all these little tweaks to the system that made them champions. So Now that they're
Very weak
losing
argument.
game after game after game, that narrative's gone. Like, so
No,
which
no,
one is
weak
it?
Salah, no.
Let
Salah
me tell you why it's a weak argument. 1 second. Let me tell you what's a weak
I didn't
argument.
make the argument. You
You
made
can
that
think-
argument, not me.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I made that argument. And guess what? With new evidence comes new information, comes new opinions. Do you believe Moises Caicedo is the best DM in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, if for the next 20 games he stinks up the pitch and he's dragging your team down, is he still the best DM in the world?
No.
Okay, so the narrative changed. Why?
new information.
Because he's not playing well.
Okay, guess what? Liverpool are 10th. All the players look like crap other than Szoboszlai. So the narrative changed.
Yeah, you guys made a whole plethora of changes, though. It doesn't
That is
mean that. Yeah,
You're a
you
Chelsea fan. Wait 1 second.
We,
You're a
we
Chelsea
talk
fan.
like about this. Let me finish,
Mourinho
man. You
Mourinho won the
you
league.
keep on running
The
this
year
narrative,
where
like,
Mourinho was 10th, did you believe he should get sacked?
did I believe he should get sacked? Yeah, we were terrible.
Fantastic. I agree with you. I would have also wanted him to get sacked. You were terrible. So the narrative changed. He wasn't
Yeah,
an
but
amazing
Mourinho was a cancer in the dressing room at the time. You're saying.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
It sounds like so, but it sounds like
It
so.
sounds very similar, Cam. Very
no,
similar.
but the issue is right now we're nobody's arguing whether or not Slot should be sacked. I think what we're arguing right now is whether or not you would have won the title without him. And the argument that you brought to the table last year is he made all these substitutions, made all these tweaks to the system, and then all of a sudden Liverpool were playing this fantastic football.
And no one actually changed that. No one actually
No one
denying this.
changed that narrative, though.
Do I need to
Do you
go
think
back and pull the
Osam is
receipts?
denying? Osam is the one who defends this all the time. That Slot is one of the people that made changes, got the best out of Gravenberch. Yeah, we all. I
Facts.
agree with this as well.
So
No one.
you guys agree
I
with
never
that.
disagreed with that. But I said, would another manager would have won the league with Liverpool last season with the same
It's
team?
super hard to say.
Probably. No, but most likely.
Oh,
But
we know
I
for a fact that
we know
without
for a
Mo, we
fact
would not
without
won.
Salah, they would not have won
The
the
only,
league.
so the only, yeah, okay. So that's the only fact we know. That is the only fact we know is without Mo Salah having a.
But that
Out of-
was my point, Cam.
Yeah,
that
that's the
without
only
Mohamed
fact we
Salah.
know.
I
Okay,
think
so
the only thing that Mohamed Salah said wrong, and we all agree with, and I think is maybe that when he's spoken about you earn your spot on merit. Nobody earns your spot on merit. However, nobody in football, because you get paid to play. If you drop in form, you get benched. Simple. However, there are two problems here, which is Osam brings, and basically, it's okay. I saw it wrong until Osam said something to me when I met Chief the other day. He said, but Konate is not dropped for Gomez, and he was stinking up the pitch. Van Dijk was never even questioned by the manager. And Gakpo is not dropped, and because if it's on Gakpo is not dropped, Chiesa dropped not world class, the best performance is there, and always Gakpo starts. Is it favoritism because he's Dutch? Why isn't Chiesa starting when Chiesa every time he steps on the pitch? Why is Salah? Number two, the second point, and let me hear, this is very important because this
Can
is
we
what
just
Sam
go
said.
one by one though? Because I feel like we're just going to go on this tangent, and it's gonna
Okay,
be hard
great.
to
One
deal
by
with.
one. Why
Okay.
it's only Salah that is dropped and not Gakpo and not Konate? Why? And not Kirkiz? Why not Kirkiz?
Kirkis has been dropped.
So
Hold on, let me just address this one time because I think this is like this false narrative needs to just be killed first and
Go
foremost.
ahead.
First and foremost, everyone has been dropped. I've seen Konate on the bench. I've seen Salah's been on the bench for a week and he's already complaining. Okay, he's already complaining. A week, a week where they won, drew, and lost. Granted, they didn't win. Secondly, let's not forget that he's going away to AFCON right now.
Mhm.
So they have to learn to play without Salah. So him dropping him is, again, everyone is complaining about Liverpool's defense and how they're shipping goals, and that's not Mo Salah's fault. I'm sorry, man. When you have Slot has finally come to the conclusion that you cannot have any passengers on the pitch. You cannot have anyone that is going to be a luxury offensive dynamo, especially when he's not scoring. So he's now made the changes to be a little bit more solid defensively. And now he's crying because he's not on the pitch. Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. There's so many reasons as to why Salah is being dropped. First, for me, is because he's going away. They need to solidify their team. Secondly, he's not providing anything offensively. Absolutely nothing. We're talking about Gakpo. If I'm not mistaken, Gakpo has more goals and assists than Salah this season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
He does, right?
Yeah, no, he does for sure.
And he works harder off the ball.
I think the one, like, when you say no one's been dropped, I think that's incorrect too, because you look at like Verts, who's your big mega signing, like he's been dropped. I do think Slot, by dropping Salah, is trying to find answers. And I think when you have a player like Salah, who basically everything kind of had to run through him, for like, which was fine. It worked. Like it won a league. And I think Slot's realizing, well, that's not working this year, so I have to figure something else out. I didn't consider the AFCON thing, which I think is a good point. Like you do have to kind of prep for, you're going to have a bunch of games and he's not going to be there because Egypt's one of the favorites, right? So
we're not one of the favorites.
Are they? No?
No.
Okay.
We have a shit team. We have a terrible team, and we're not one of the favorites.
Okay. So either way,
he doesn't want that responsibility, man.
He's supposed to be prepared.
There's clearly diverted it.
And at the end of the day, there's clearly some beef, which happens with managers and players. I disagree with like what happened with, Mo. It's not so much coming out and speaking about being dropped after a week, which is, you should just be able to suck that up. But it's more about saying like, I may not be there like after AFCON. It's like, that's getting extreme. Saying like, oh, well, now sell me because I've been dropped for a week. Like that I do think.
But he didn't only speak about being dropped. What you guys, okay, there are points that you guys are forgetting.
Let me finish though. I get that he mentioned relationship, this and that, but none of that shit came out before he was dropped. So at the end of the day, like when you draw the true correlation of where his issues were, when you say, okay, why is he talking now? It's because he got dropped, which is, I get it. He's emotional. He's upset. And it's like, I never agree with it. When you see players like Vinny Jr. who get pulled out early and they're like, I won't be, I always think that shit's bullshit. It's like, yo, relax, man. None of you, like, you don't have to play every single game. It's okay to be dropped. And I think when you're Salah, he should, at his age, again, you're at your age too. You're an older player. Like, you're not a super young player in the up and up. Like, you're an older player. You should be able to look at the team and go, all right, fine, cool, drop me. If they dropped him for like 2 months, 100% I get it. A month, I'm like, I get it. And you're not winning, I get it. Now you're like, yo, guys, what the fuck? I can help. But a week, I think he jumped the gun. I do think he jumped the gun by saying, not saying you shouldn't drop me, by saying I won't be there. That is my thing. I want to make it very clear. By saying I may not be there after 1 week is a bit of a hissy fit.
Totally.
Let me just explain something. First of all, we need to establish that the narrative is not about Salah being dropped for 3 games. The narrative is about him being pushed out of the club. Because people keep discussing this idea that, oh my God, he's saying all this because he was benched for 3 games. No, that's not the point. The point is he believes he's being scapegoated and he believes he's being pushed out of the club. Those are the 2 things he mentioned to the media. He said he's being thrown under the bus by the football club, which over the last 48 hours, all 4 of us can admit with the journalist reactions, with the players, is
by the way, the press guy's response, like his face, that made me laugh. The press,
yeah, exactly. Like 10 journalists, 10 Liverpool journalists all came out and said the same exact thing. Yeah. You cannot make 10 people watch a game of football and come up with the same conclusion. It's impossible for 10 people to say the same exact
thing. What
did
they say? I'm sorry. Sorry, Hussam, what did they say though?
Came out and blamed him. The point about him being dropped is
Sam, here Couch's question.
What did they say? I don't know what these journalists all came out and said.
I can give you an example. If you want, Mo can put in the private chat now the Paul Joyce article where the language.
Okay, all of them. Number one,
personal attacks on Mo. James Pierce came out.
No. What did they say?
I'm going to tell you 2 points.
Yesterday, James Pierce's article was like, Salah doesn't even have friends in the Liverpool squad.
Okay, so that's
and
James
Pierce's come out and they're all hugging him and they're laughing with each other.
Okay, so that James Pierce is probably lying. But what do the 10 of them say that is exactly the same?
3 points.
Here, Mo can tell you.
All of them said the exact same thing. That Liverpool that we think that Liverpool are getting better without Salah and Arne Slot is turning it around. That only happened after the fucking interview. All of them. Sam Wallace, James Pierce, Paul Joyce, all of them said the exact same thing, right? That Liverpool are getting better after dropping Mohamed Salah, which is a fact. Factually, it's not. They bottled it twice against Leeds, and it's not. Factually, it didn't happen. Number 2 is that Salah is selfish and he doesn't have friends. All of you are saying the same. Like, all of you are saying the same thing.
All of them said that?
All of them said that Salah is not like close friends in the team and stuff like this. All of them. It's all in the articles that you feel like, and we all know that is not new. Some journalists, Dennis, we know that they are paid by the club, and that is not. There's no shame in that. As a journalist, sometimes you cover the club because you get like insight, and you can go against the hierarchy. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? It's simple.
Here's what I push back on though,
and I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it's wrong for them. They are journalists that ask the club for a quote, and the club gives them a code, and they just go and write
So
out.
they're the
Simple.
mouthpiece
Exactly.
for
So
they're the
narrative.
mouthpiece for the club. They're basically representing what the club has to say. Sure.
And I don't think it's
But
wrong.
here's the issue. Here's the issue that I have with that, and that being part of the narrative is none of this stuff would have come out until Salah went into the media himself and said what he said. So we're saying that they're trying to push him out of the club. Well, maybe that was a result of what he said that is now leading them to try and push him out of the club. It wasn't like it's the cart before the horse for me. Like you guys are saying,
Can I respond to this
they
before?
dropped it. Why did they drop him?
Can I tell you what? Can I tell you one of the things that we didn't speak about enough in here is a couple of points. Salah wasn't talking about Arne Slot dropping him. Salah was talking about someone at the club. Let's just establish something. We all know it was reported by every journalist when Arne Slot was hired that he's the coach and he has nothing to do with transfers. He's not making decisions. He's not anything. So Salah saying that someone wants me out of the club, he's not talking about Arne Slot because we all know that Arne Slot doesn't make decisions. Number two, Salah saying that I had a relationship with the coach and suddenly that relationship is gone. For me, that indicates one thing. Someone instructed Arne Slot to suddenly not have a relation with him. Suddenly. Stop talking to this guy.
It's 3
Stop
games.
giving him answers. These are assumptions, by the way. I'm assuming. I'm admitting. I'm assuming, right? But I'm reading between the lines, right? Because none of us know the truth. Because there are people that are saying that they wanted Salah to be sold in January. And he said no. That's a rumor, right? Does it align with what he said? Probably. I don't know the truth. But I'm reading between the lines and connecting the dots. Someone that had a relation and suddenly the manager is not talking to you. You were starting him every game and suddenly you are phasing him out of the team while you're starting others, right? People are saying that he's the problem, not anybody else.
No, that's not true either.
No,
I don't
people
believe
are
that's
saying
true.
Virgil's the problem.
I've heard all
People are
sorts
saying
of people
Virgil's the
being
problem, aren't they?
scapegoated in this Liverpool team. I've
But hold on,
heard
maybe
Van
fans
Dijk.
saying
I've
Virgil's the
heard
problem, not
Gakpo.
me.
I've heard Wirtz. I've heard Isak. I've heard them. All those names have been listed as problems with Liverpool, not just Salah. Yeah, the fact that he dropped him now, which is not, unforeseen for a guy that hasn't been doing anything on the pitch, like absolutely nothing, and hasn't really, like literally, he's a defensive liability. They're playing with 10 men every time he's on the pitch and he's not scoring any goals. The other side of it too is like this idea of him being pushed out of the club. Like, this has only been birthed after he went on and talked. Nobody's saying anything.
No. He said that. He said that in the interview. He's the one.
No, I hear what you're saying.
What?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but I disagree in the sense of him saying that means he has a genuine feeling of what's going on around him. And it means, and again, you could be saying like, well, the club just responded that way to his comments, but he said, I'm being thrown under the bus and I'm being pushed out, which means there's something. And again, this is where we don't have all the information because we're not in the club, which means there may be somebody who approached him who was saying like, listen, we're going to look to sell you next year. That might've come up. Something there could be. The fact that he's talking about not being there, which I don't think he should have said out loud. That's the part I think he should have left alone. But the fact that he's saying it gives me the sense that he has a feeling they want to sell him.
So what is the end game then from coming out and saying that? What do you expect to have happen now?
Oh, that's
Trying to get the manager sacked. Very simple answer.
Yeah, that's it.
The manager's going to get sacked anyways. We all know this.
Yeah.
So what is the point of him coming out in the media and saying what he said?
So he can control the narrative because as we can see that they're trying to control the narrative about his current.
I mean, he's only inflamed
because
the
like here's the thing, they could have said like, oh, he has no friends in the Liverpool camp as an example, and if he didn't say anything, we wouldn't have gotten the picture.
Why would a journalist say that?
Yeah,
Dennis, why would a journalist come out and say that Salah doesn't have any friends?
Okay,
who does that benefit? Like, who does that benefit?
Okay. So James Pierce, one guy came out and said that. But the point is that doesn't matter though. That none of that matters. The bottom line is for me, the heat went from Arne Slot to
Mohamed Salah, and that is his mistake.
And that was his doing, not the club's doing, right?
Because what else would you want Salah to do?
We've all sat there and watched these summits, these Liverpool, content creator summits where they're talking about slot out, everyone's slot out.
Why
then all of a sudden now that narrative has switched now to okay, well, what is Salah doing here? He's destabilizing the club even further now. What's going on?
Okay, great. Can I answer? Cam, can you answer me? So Salah, he feels he's being scapegoated, pushed out of the club. He doesn't want to
Which
leave.
was proven right for the last
By the
48
way,
hours.
Cam, just guys, let's just say something. If Salah wanted to go, he could have left on a free at the end of his contract last season and went and made a generational wealth in Saudi Arabia. So clearly the guy wants to stay at Liverpool. He wants to stay in England.
He said in the quote he wants to retire at Liverpool.
So for whatever reason, maybe his kids, they want to go to the British schools in England. Maybe his kids and family are comfortable in England. There is a reason or the other that is not my business. You know what I mean? Because he had a chance to go to Saudi Arabia 3 times in the last 3 years and he chose not to. Generational wealth and he chose not to. So clearly he wants to stay. What do you guys think that Salah should have done if he feels like the club are scapegoating him and forcing him out by portraying that he's the problem at Liverpool to be sold in January? What did you want him to do?
So for me, pretty simple. Because realistically, and this is where I fully agree with Dennis, is like, you've got to let things play out a little bit. And him being sat on the bench for 1 week and the results not being great, if you're Salah, you sit there and you just let it go for a bit. Let's see how it goes. You're going to go to AFCON. If Arne Slot continues to fail, which we all kind of believe he's going to, and then at that point, you can then speak up. I think the problem is he was too premature. He came out too early. It was too quick. It then made it easy for the media to flip the narrative. That's the issue. It's like you have to know when to come at. So you have to know when to pick your spots. You got to know when to take your shot. And I think he took his shot so early that now the media is able to flip it and be like, he's being a brat, he's being selfish, this or that. If he had waited a few more games, even if they had won a few and he was on the bench, he could then still come out and say, like, guys, like, you paid me to be here to help. He could still make a comment and be like, I'm still a club legend, I shouldn't be on the bench. But 1 week has made it extremely difficult for him to defend his position, in my opinion. It has.
And the track record on top of that, like he's done this before. Like it wasn't but last year that he was like, I'm more out than in with Liverpool. When Klopp benched him, is the exact same thing. He's complaining into the media. He doesn't go into the media unless it's to complain. Like, so now
for me, I actually think Liverpool didn't want to make him captain. They didn't want to make him vice captain. They didn't give him any leadership in the team. It's a choice. By the way, that is a choice by the club. Salah is the guy that is there for the longest, along with Robertson, right?
Sure.
So it's their choice to not make him captain. I actually thought that Salah maybe should have spoken as a senior player. But when you don't want to make the guy captain, why are you asking him to talk? You are chosen not to have this guy a captain or a vice captain at the club or a third captain.
I mean, Eden Hazard doesn't have to wear the armband to go out and speak in the media. Like he wasn't a captain at Chelsea.
He's not being asked to speak in the media. No one.
Well, I mean, like he's still a public figure. He's still the most recognizable Liverpool player right now. There's no reason for him to like wait for opportunities where it's convenient to him to go out into the media and say something. You know, the man wanted a new contract. He's telling him I'm more out than in. The first time Klopp benches him, he's complaining in the media. This is what it is. Like we can talk about this narrative about him being pushed out of the club and like promises not being made. What are these promises? What are these promises? Okay, for me, it feels like to me that the promise that he thinks is not being honored is that the team is going to be centered around him. And now when he's being benched,
I don't know.
Now that he's being benched,
because Mo, no, you're speculating, and I have a reason to say that.
But you guys are all speculating.
And it's highly unlikely. No, but your speculation is highly unlikely because he came out before he signed the contract and he said he spoke to the club and he's very excited about the things that will happen this summer. Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, and all our new signings came out and said how Mo has helped them out with his leadership, how Mo has helped them settle into the club and all this. So he hasn't shown any sign of jealousy that the club isn't centered around him. And by the way, all these guys have failed to make the club center around them to begin with. Ekitike scored twice against Leeds. He went 10 games without a goal. Isak hasn't lived up to expectation. Wirtz hasn't lived up to expectation. Frimpong's been injured. Kerkez has people asking for Robertson to start. So no one's really taken that mantra and went like, yes, let's make this my club now. It's just happened. This is not like a Kobe Shaq situation where like, oh, Shaq is old, let's get him out of here. We got Kobe. We ain't got Kobe because none of them are playing like Kobe right now. We got Derek Fishers in the team right now. This is who we got. So we have role players. As a matter of fact, like my thing is, I believe if you want to drop Mo, that's fine. But here's the thing that people need to understand: if you're a superstar and you don't complain about being dropped, then you're not a superstar. Mbappe
Yeah, I
would
mean,
complain.
there's a time
Hear
and
me out.
place to do it though. Like, I'm sorry, this is not like
See how
it's
29
different
minutes
though.
I
It's
haven't
different
interrupted you
though.
once.
No, but it's
I
different though.
did
Like,
what
do you
said
find
don't interrupt.
do you think that
I
anyone
didn't
was
interrupt you.
happy
Let me
about
land
being
my
on the
point.
bench?
Let me land. If this happened to Mbappe or Haaland or Kevin De Bruyne or any of these people,
You mean
any
when it
of
happened to
these
Kevin De
people-
Bruyne last year?
Can I finish,
Hmm.
please?
I'm just using your examples.
Okay, I can respond.
I love
Let
this
me
show.
finish
This is the
first.
best show.
If this happened to Kevin De Bruyne and his pump, or Mbappe or Haaland or these players, they would all have similar reactions because you can't just drop a superstar player, specifically when the entirety of the team is playing bad. Now, the difference with KDB last season is the fact that he was managed by Pep Guardiola, and Manchester City did it the right way, meaning no one scapegoated KDB. No one in the City media attacked KDB. They just let KDB go out in the summer and done. That's it. So they did things the right way. The problem is Liverpool Football Club aren't doing stuff the right way right now. And the media reaction and certain fans' reaction have proven the point correct for the last 48 hours of him being scapegoated, because he has been scapegoated by media outlets and former players as well. And if you're telling me that Mo was dropped for 2 games and we won both of them, you'd have a leg to stand on. The problem is we drew to Sunderland at home, newly promoted side. We drew to Leeds away from home, newly promoted side, after being up twice. And we conceded both goals down the right-hand side, all 3 goals down the right-hand side, which is the reason why we dropped Mo to begin with. Now, if Arne Slot actually was this ballsy figure who would do stuff just for the sake of it, and just he's going performance-wise, then there are other players in the team who have been way worse than Mo who deserve to get dropped. I'll give you an example. Before the West Ham game, we had conceded 10 goals in 3 games. Van Dijk was playing volleyball in our own penalty box, as an example. He was by far, in that 3-game stretch, Liverpool's worst player, and I love Virgil van Dijk. No one, Arne Slot did not drop Van Dijk for Joe Gomez, as an example. He did not drop Konate for Joe Gomez, as an example. Cody Gakpo is 10 years younger than Mo, and people think that he's washed. They haven't dropped him either. There's so many different examples. So if you want to go like, okay, I'm going to drop you because your performances have been good. Okay, what about the others who haven't performed well? Are we going to see, as an example, Chiesa playing down on the left-hand side, which Mo brought up? Chiesa hasn't complained publicly. This whole thing about, Chiesa complained, Salah complained publicly. Chiesa hasn't complained publicly. And I have another thing to say. After the Leeds game, it's common consensus, and this proves my point, critic, that it's not like the problem is Slot is a good coach, but such a horrible man manager.
I would agree with that.
After the Leeds game, it was common consensus. Yeah, guys, Isak is going to start against Inter Milan. My question as a Liverpool fan is, why does Isak start against Inter Milan? If we're going based off performances, Ekitike just scored twice against Leeds. Why should Isak start? Rotation.
Yeah, because you got like your season's going nowhere until he get going.
How you manage the players. Like, man management, he's been shit. And the point that proves it is, I think I can legitimately, without any speculation, probably point, just based off my experience of watching football, to around 9 players who are clearly not playing for Arne right now. And their reactions, I don't know if you've seen the pictures, but I can send them in the group chat right now. All his teammates are backing him. Ekitike, Isak are all laughing with him in training, hugging him. Same with Szoboszlai. Like, players are way more likely to be on Mo's side. And what makes all this interesting is 3 days before, Virgil gave a quote to the media where he basically said, I need Mo's leadership around. Now, from a purely dressing room perspective, I know which side the dressing room is on. Obviously on Mo's side. So Slot is fighting a losing battle. That's the thing that he doesn't understand.
Whose battle is it though? Because
he's managed the squad horribly, which is another big issue.
We're gonna move on from this
real quick. Whose battle is this though? Because I'm hearing it's Slot, I'm hearing it's the directors, I'm hearing it's the owner. Whose battle is it? Because if it's Slot against,
simply a puppet to execute orders.
Okay, so Slot is just
Slot,
a puppet.
Just like Maresca is a yes man, because there are people in power, in powerful positions. Slot and Maresca are not Arteta and Pep.
We're not talking about Maresca.
Powerful.
Let's just deal with Slot.
Why would those people in power want to bench Salah? Why do they care?
Because they want to sell him in January.
So what? They
That's
can
the
sell
whole
him in
point
January
of the whole
anyways.
thing.
Why do they need
can
to
sell him.
bench
They
him
can
and
sell
sell him
him.
in January?
They can sell him while they're playing him. Why does it matter to them?
I mean, that's
How does it
what
affect
Mo's
them?
saying. The reason why he believes
If,
he's being
if
thrown
anything,
under the bus
if
is
anything,
basically
his
they want to
value
get
is
sold.
higher if he's playing more games. I think this is just petulance and childish by Salah. I understand all players can also come and defend themselves. Nothing has been done wrong to him. He's been benched because he's been crap.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
it is. People
Ashraf,
want to do this nonsense. It's so woke bullshit. Such woke BS.
Ashraf,
Oh my
Ashraf.
god. No, he's earned his spot. No, he hasn't earned
No,
his
that's
spot.
bullshit.
If you're
That's
crap, you're
bullshit.
on the bench. That's
And you know what the funny
BS.
thing is? Sorry, Ashraf. You know what the
I
funny
love
thing is
Salah.
about
I
that
think he's
too?
one of the
No, but
greatest
hold
players
on.
to
Can
ever
we
play in the
stop?
Premier
Can I
League.
Quickly,
respond?
you know what the funny
Can
thing
I
is? About that? You
respond?
guys are
Can I
latching onto
respond?
the other pieces of
Why
what he
no one-
said, not the most important thing.
There are 2 points. Why no one on this panel addressed when he said someone at the club want me out? Why none of you addressed that?
What the?
I did
how are
address
we
it.
going to address something? That's
You
so
are the
Because
opposite.
it's speculation.
Cam is
That
the
is so
It's Philip
cryptic.
Masri. It's an Egyptian
I
drama. That's what it
addressed
is. Someone in the club wants me out. Yeah, he's trying to do this Egyptian drama kind of shit. You know, like
but I
we
did
grew up
address
watching
it.
that crap. Don't give me that garbage.
I
Someone in
need
the
to
club
yeah,
deal
wants
with
me
what
out.
I heard.
Oh,
I did
hold on. So
address
Ashraf, you think that Salah was lying and no one wants him out? He's just trying to do drama.
I
Okay,
think.
By the way,
he's
if you
saying-
say that, I will accept it. It's your opinion.
No, no,
no, what I'm saying
no,
is,
Ashraf,
what
I
I'm-
will
what I'm-
accept
what
it.
I'm-
I think we should.
No,
move
that's
on.
what I'm saying.
No,
What
I addressed it. I said.
I know
if
you're the
that-
only one, Cam, that said Salah feels there is something happening behind his
if
back.
something
Ashraf,
came up,
simply,
but we
Ashraf,
don't
Exactly.
you
know.
are completely ignoring that Salah said that someone at the club want me out, and you are
No.
actually talking. Okay, hold on. You are talking
I
about
didn't
one thing.
ignore it.
You are talking about him being dropped and him saying that I earned my spot. You are ignoring that there is suddenly he said that no relation with the manager and someone wants me out. That is bigger than him being dropped. That is bigger.
That is
than.
BS. I'm saying.
What do you mean? He said that.
I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you. If you let me finish.
That part
if you let me
isn't
finish, you'll
speculation,
understand.
Ashraf. It's his own word.
You're jumping at my second word and saying, but you are ignoring. No, I didn't ignore.
No,
I'm
you literally
saying-
said
I
it's
think-
Egyptian drama. You already
Why can't we
responded and
finish
said it's
thoughts,
Egyptian
man?
drama.
Just let him
He
get his
already
ideas out,
said
man.
to me, Ashraf already said to me, it's Egyptian drama. He already responded.
Because I was going on this monologue and then you cut it off.
Yeah,
But I'll make it
yes.
short
Okay.
so we can finish.
Take it back. Egyptian
I
drama
think-
is the
I
best in the
think-
Middle East. Take it back.
It is actually. It's really good. I think he truly believes that's the case. But there's no evidence that's the case.
so-
I think he believes there is something happening. He has no evidence. He feels hard done by because he's sitting on the bench. So he's like, why am I sitting on the bench? I am the best player to ever grace this club. So there must be
Exactly.
some conspiracy going on. Or, my brother, maybe you just have been so crap and also you don't defend. So they cannot give you that leeway anymore of, well, Salah scores goals, so who gives a shit about him defending? So now they said, hey, you know what? We need to change that now since he's not even contributing going forward.
Everyone go
Maybe that's
subscribe
what's
to Jamie Carragher
maybe-
Talks Football.
Maybe
Link
that's what's happened. Maybe that's what's happened,
Subscribe
and
to
not the
Jamie
stuff you're
Carragher
building in
on
your
your-
head. Not the stuff you're building in your head of, oh, there's a conspiracy against me. Yes, they give you a 400k contract. They hail you. They call you one of the best players to ever play. But they have something against you now for some reason. It's probably xenophobia, isn't it? It's probably they hate Egyptians. That's
No
what it
one,
is.
no one said
Stop
that.
with this
Don't put words in
garbage.
our mouth.
I
No
know
one said that.
Say that. I know you didn't say that.
No one
I'm
said
saying
that.
that's what some of the people are saying that. I literally read tweets today where people are saying
I
it's
have a very good
xenophobia.
reason why. By the way, I have a very good reason, Ashraf, why would you want to sell him in January? It's a very logical reason. They want to rectify what happened. They want to give his 400k wages to somebody else that comes to the club because they need actually players.
They can do that while he's playing.
Okay,
They can do that while he's
have
playing.
Liverpool have a leeway in terms of transfer fees. They don't have a leeway in salaries. Yeah. They don't.
They can
because of
sell
the new
him
rule.
while he's
It
playing.
doesn't change how they can sell him. They can still sell him.
Okay, so Salah,
can-
okay.
Playing
Okay,
him and
you
not playing
cannot-
doesn't mean
So,
that you can't
so
sell
we
him.
agreed now that they wanted to force him out. Like he doesn't
No, I
want to
don't
go.
agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Why you just said they can sell him?
I don't. I'm dispelling this rumor
If
that
we're
like they
saying
want.
if that's what they really want to do, they can sell him while he's
It doesn't
still
matter
playing,
when they
which
sell him.
proves that there is no conspiracy. Maybe he was just dropped because he's ass.
exactly.
I agree there are other players who should also be
Maybe
dropped. I'm not
maybe
denying
that
it.
as well. But what about
But there's
the
a
other-
big scenario that he got dropped because he's been asked.
So why
There are
so
others who got
you're-
dropped also
So
while they
you're
were
saying
asked.
he's speculating what is happening behind the scenes. He's just saying stuff.
Yeah,
That's
because he has a
fair enough.
history of doing it. He did this on the Klopp when Klopp was yelling at
you.
him, or they had an argument on the sideline, and he came out after the match saying, "If I speak,
Maybe.
oh hell will come," or whatever he said. If I speak, he did that with Klopp. What is Klopp also like a puppet like slot?
Maybe.
Come on, bro.
Clearly,
He has a
he
history
is.
of doing this. Bro.
Okay, I want to move on from this. Redline Teranga said, in Mo's voice, Kara is just a bum and a fucking idiot. Listen, Jimmy Carragher has an agenda against Salah. He doesn't like him. Him going
Yeah,
to
that
Egypt
stuff
and Chelsea-
Carragher said was disgusting. I disagree with
like,
that, but that's
going
guy's
to
a
Egypt
scumbag,
and
let's just be
Afcon
real.
being, you know
he's
what?
a scumbag.
He's an ignorant guy that doesn't know what has happened in Egypt and Port Said and the people that died and the Egyptian league stopped. And Hussam explained this yesterday on his watch along. If you haven't, it's very simple.
The Egyptian league stopped 3 times from 2011 to 2015.
And by the way, us reaching the World Cup twice after reaching it twice in 80 years is an achievement that Carragher wouldn't know how much it means to Egyptians reaching the World Cup. So he doesn't know.
Bro, when you spit on 12, 13-year-old girls, don't talk about anyone's character ever again.
I
Like, just
said
shut
that
the hell up,
earlier.
bro.
I don't even know
Just
why he's
shut
on
the hell up.
TV.
Don't
dude.
talk about
Like, I
people's
can't even
personality
believe
and
that he's
character
on
ever again.
Sky Sports after he's done
I
something
started
like
that.
Exactly.
One. I started
It's
He
with
should have
crazy
been
to me.
banned.
Ashraf,
crazy
you
to me.
missed that. That was my very first point.
Can I just quickly before we
Oh,
wrap
I didn't
this
hear
up,
it. Sorry.
I need
wrap
to do
this
the,
up.
we need to move on.
Just let me wrap this up real quick because I
No
think
one
that
cares about Egyptian football, Mo. Let's be real. Carragher's the one that brought it up, you
It's not
stupid
us.
cunt.
We don't care. We don't care as well.
let me just quickly wrap this up. I just
Liverpool
got
Football
one
Club.
thing to say about the Salah thing, and then I'll move on.
Go ahead, Dennis.
We're talking about these the journalists and how they've latched on to Mo and all that stuff. I'm like, it's like we're ignoring what this guy said. Like, these are things that you do not say in the media. Like things like, oh, I should never be dropped. I'm a club legend. You know how the things I've done for nobody wants to hear that. That's exactly why journalists have latched onto it and said, like, what the hell is this garbage? That's exactly why. You never say that in the media. Even if that's something that you think, you never say that in the media. That's the moment where you've turned against the club and you've made it about yourself. And anyone in the right mind in the media will latch onto that and just vilify him for it. So he's made his own bed as far as I'm concerned. He's made his own bed when he said that.
Bears. RSV, I'm going to do your super chat when it comes to the football about Man United and all this stuff. The real reason why, but thank you so much for supporting the channel. The real reason why Salah came out is because someone is trying to push him out, and it come out in rumors it Edwards, but we don't know, not because he was dropped.
That's
See?
the thing.
That's the
I think
thing
people
that
keep
maybe
thinking that's about him getting dropped, bro. The club want to sell him, man.
it's their right to sell him, but also it's his right to fight for his contract and say, I want to stay. I don't want to go to Saudi Arabia. You give him the contract, fine. I don't care if you were pressed to give him the contract. You weren't like held at gun's point to give him the contract. You give him the
Exactly.
contract, you got to honor it. Fans see 1-3 win. Liverpool see 0-3 loss since Mo dropped. Yes, Liverpool see that they haven't lost, and the fans see it's 1 win. Nothing has changed. Liverpool Football Club think, oh, we won 1.
That's the thing. We've played easier opposition and we've got 1 win in both scenarios, man. Like, what's fucking difficult to understand?
Yeah, I only hear Salah come out when he wants a new contract. Kara, get Salah in a parliament, top politician. Everything is spoken is for personal gain. Bro, Carragher can say whatever he wants. At the end, Carragher was going well and he was winning the argument until he mentioned Egypt and Chelsea.
Facts.
That, bro, I was listening to it and I'm like, you kind of like winning the argument here. You are saying what some people think. Once you fucking mentioned Egypt and Chelsea, you lost the argument because you made it personal. Because now everyone is going to take everything that you said before from a personal vendetta, and we know it. You lost the argument.
What he was
Whoever
trying
wrote-
to say, and did a very poor job of it, was he's trying to say that Salah was nothing before he came to Liverpool. Liverpool made him.
Which is mad.
It's crazy. It's crazy, right? And he just did not say it well enough. He was a flop at Chelsea. I mean, he went to Italy and did well. That's why Liverpool bought him. You know,
Exactly that. Moving on. Should we go to Chelsea and Man United, or go to Arsenal first? Finish the Arsenal section.
Let's not talk about Arsenal yet.
Why not? About
Because I
Arsenal.
got to go at 2, and I know this is going to go long.
If he was Scouser, then what would have been a reaction?
We know the
Hussam can answer this. Hussam, can you answer this, please? Please.
I don't answer this guy's questions.
He
Why?
is a Scouser. What do we mean?
You can answer it or someone else.
I don't know.
By the way, I think he's siding with you. I don't think he's against you. He's
Doesn't
trying to say if Salah was a Scouser, he would have got like
What if
It would have
Total
been a
Eclipse
different
did
reaction.
something? I don't. So Total Eclipse did
Yeah.
something on Osama's channel, so Osama doesn't respond to the person. I
Oh,
actually
really? Okay. fair.
probably that's what I'm speculating, right? I'm expecting if this was a Scouser, he would have been protected. Like maybe I don't know.
A little
Gerald
bit.
handed a
Not
transfer.
so much. Trent wasn't fully protected when he wanted to leave, so maybe
That's
not.
true. To be honest,
But
he
to
was
be honest,
berated like
I
crazy.
think-
But hold on.
I think the
But-
problem. I don't even want to talk about Liverpool anymore. I just think the problem is with when it comes to X, and I said this about the legends for United. X legends sometimes overstep their bounds, and at the end of the day, like Carragher for me, as somebody who never won the Prem, who has his history, it's just like shut the fuck up. Like that's kind of where I'm at with
But
him.
can I tell you guys something? Trent, the fans were against Trent. The media, you remember when fans said, "Don't tell Liverpool fans how to feel," because the media always told Liverpool fans, "Don't boo Trent. He doesn't deserve this." Blah blah blah. All the stuff.
But that's also because Klopp came out and did that, right? Klopp came out and said the same thing, right? So it's like, I don't know. I think at the end of the day, like
But guys, I'm gonna tell you something. This is not racist at all from Jamie Carragher. And I'm saying it
I
here.
don't think-
It's
I don't
It has
xenophobic.
nothing to do
maybe?
with racist. Well, it's not xenophobic because Jamie Carragher would defend Mane before, and he said that Mane is a silver
Yeah, I
player.
agree.
This is coming from a personal vendetta from Jamie Carragher because Salah called him out before as well.
Exactly.
He's a scumbag, but it's not racist or xenophobic.
Yeah, it's not racist. So I refuse to believe that this is not racist at all or xenophobic. Right? This is a personal vendetta between Jamie Carragher and Mohamed Salah. This is it. I believe so. Right? Anyway,
Oh,
long story
yeah, I see the Hussam and Total Eclipse beef now. This is nice.
anyway,
Jordanian drama.
I don't know if Total Eclipse is Jordanian.
what topic you wanna move on خلاص انتوا يعني اثنين
طيب.
انا كتبتها بالتعليقات بالعمد انتوا بتحكوها هون ليش يعني شو استفدت ان
خلاص
اكتبها
اوكي
بالتعليق
اوكي
You are a
يا أخي،
celebrity.
لا
يا
مرات
أخي.
بحس ما عندكم خلص حكيت ما بدي اجاوب خلص بالهاي اللي بعده
But we want to know يا أخي. It's drama.
طب خلص بعدين تسالني مش النفس
Chelsea and Man United. Who's finishing higher?
قريبين انتوا يا اخي
Yeah,
قريبين والله.
finishing higher.
You-
I mean, it's still probably Chelsea, realistically. Like if we're gonna like the difference with our two clubs is, I mean, we're both. I don't actually know what the difference is right now because
Wait,
Chelsea's-
who's higher in the table now?
We're just on the same points. We're on the same points.
Same
We're
point.
literally-
I'm sorry, guys. Salad. Yeah, okay. I don't want to go there because this opens a massive can of worms. This is Mohamed Salah about the humble person. It's a big thing. It goes
It's
to
a whole different
Saka.
conversation.
It goes to Bellingham. It goes to
It
all
goes
what
to
Ian
all
Wright
things. It's a
said.
bigger
All
conversation.
what Ian Wright said. Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not gonna call him racist. He hasn't done anything.
I'm
that's
not.
wrong.
I don't think so. But
I
Victim
think it's
mentality.
dangerous.
Big up Salad, but come on,
And I
you're
think
really
it's
clutching
extremely
at straws
dangerous
here,
to have that conversation and put those words on people when it's like there's no evidence of it.
I don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very hard to accuse someone with this without
like
them.
the dude's just a scumbag. He's just a bad dude. It's not. It doesn't matter. Like it's
Bro,
cool.
Cristiano
Right,
Ronaldo. Cristiano
ahead.
Ronaldo is not an Arab or of any, but we still call him delusional for all the crap he says over the last 1 year.
It's
About
at the end of the
But he's
It's
day.
hard to
flip-flop,
assign
so
it
let's
to him,
not
but
do
it's
that.
not
Let's
hard
not
to
do that.
envision it, is all I'm saying. It's hard to assign it, but not hard to envision him being a racist.
It's true. I agree with that.
Yeah, that,
I'm not-
yeah.
I'm
but,
not-
but nothing he has done with the Salah case
Yeah,
now
but
can
but
be
you
considered
can't-
racist.
I don't see, guys. I didn't see anything from Carragher in his career for me to label him that there is a possibility of him being a racist.
Like if it
I
came
just
out
don't.
like somewhere we found, if
It's
we
such
saw
a
like a
fucking
video or
shit.
something, I wouldn't be surprised.
You know, like,
but
get
it
it-
is what it
There is evidence of John Terry, maybe Luis Suarez. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There is
those
no
are-
evidence of Carragher for me to actually even speculate this about him. So it's
Yeah,
I think it's unfair
In fact,
for me to say this.
He
right?
actually,
You know what I mean?
he might be a shit pundit, or I don't know if he's a cup of tea or not, but he does know football though. Like if you watch him in some of the shows, he knows all the old players. He will immediately recall which club they've played for. He'll immediately recall the jersey they're wearing. Like
I'm
every
gonna
single thing.
gonna
Like, so
repeat what I
he
say.
clearly
all
knows
the
his
time.
history, but
Knowing the history, it doesn't mean you know football. And I'm not saying Carragher doesn't
No,
know football. Anyone, let me just say this, Ashraf. Anyone can go and
Mhm.
read a Wikipedia and study history. It doesn't mean they know ball. I've
Stop,
said that
stop, stop,
many
stop, stop,
times,
stop.
right?
you're referring to
Ashraf,
people
can
like
you not-
Hamza.
Ashraf, خلاص Ashraf,
You're
Ashraf,
no, because
not
it's a
Hamza.
weird argument
Ashraf,
you're making.
مش حمزة.
That was not
Ashraf,
what I meant.
مش حمزة. Okay.
I'm just saying there's a difference between people who clearly went and studied Wikipedia like Hamza versus people who know and can tell you what happened in the game. That's not the same. You can't go study that.
I'm not talking about what happened in the game, but I'm talking about someone that knows who played for who and who played what and which is the history of the final. Anybody can read that on Wikipedia. It doesn't mean
No,
you
that
know
of
the
course
game.
anyone can read. Yeah, of course.
Anyone can read that. I'm not saying that you know the game or something like this. Jimmy Carragher might know the game. Going on to Chelsea. What happened? By the way, have we debunked Couch that Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, they're not on the same level that Caicedo's
Yeah. It's been destroyed.
Nice, guys. Is that
I don't
destroyed?
know. I don't even think that was debatable. I don't know.
It was debatable.
Sam was making
It
that
wasn't
argument, not me. I was not
Anyway,
making that argument. Like Caicedo
Chelsea and Man
without
United.
question.
Let me do RSV super chat so we don't forget it. De Ligt and Maguire are not suited to play in the Amarim as they lack progressive passing through the lines in the system. Yesterday, Heaven Licha proved it.
That is an incorrect statement, plain and simple. Hate to say it, but like Delit does have very good progressive. I don't even want to go and look for stats just from my eyes. Like he's a good progressive pass. That's literally one of Maguire's best traits. Like I don't know how to put it. Is Maguire's actually one of the best passing center backs? Like he's not. The problem with Maguire is as soon as he plays anywhere near, like yesterday, we played the whole game in Wolves half. And I want to just say this straight up from the start. Wolves are one of the worst teams I've ever seen play football. Like I've never seen a team lose possession. Like it was hard for me. And this is the thing. I was excited to win, but it was hard for me to get excited until we scored 4 goals. So I'm like, if we don't ship 6 goals, that's bad because that's how bad Wolves were as a team. Like it was just like, I've never seen so many bad touches. So like literally our Mizraoui played in like their half. He barely stepped back. Like he was like the recovery of the didn't even the speed to get away from our center backs when they needed to recover. Like it was, we had the ball the whole game. And at no point was there any stress of us not being able to gain possession and do something with it. Like I wasn't one of those people watching when they scored being like, oh, here we go again. I was like, just come out and play football in the second half. That was more, I was upset that we let them score, but I knew for a fact that like, as long as we just kept doing what we were going to score a bunch of goals because that team is terrible. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. So it's hard to take away, like saying like, I think Heaven, the kid looked really good. At the end of the day, you got to give him credit because he was shaky last game. And then this game he comes in and he's proven at bottom tier, playing against a bottom tier team, he looks like he belongs in the Prem, which is really important for an 18-year-old. At the end of the day, like he could go out there and look bad and look like a championship player against his team, and he didn't. Licha played like 10 minutes, so I don't know how we can. I love Licha, by the way, but he played like 10 minutes. I just think when you think about our defenders like Delit and Maguire, they do kind of fit any 3 at the back. I think Delit's a better 4 at the back player, but Maguire is a 3 at the back center back as long as you're not playing a high line. Like he's actually very good every time he's played in any 3 in the back system. He's shown that, and this is like, this is the least by. I don't like Maguire at all, but I'm not going to be biased about how good he is when he's in that system. As far as us as a team, our problems are going to remain because there's just certain things you see when you watch us play. Like Delo getting consistently into scoring positions, not a way to win football games. Like I get it. Like he should score one-on-ones, but he's not a goal scorer. So he's always in that position to score. More times than not, he's not going to. I do think one thing I am looking forward to is if we continue with the way we spam crosses and the way we get the ball into the box and the way we cause havoc in the box, I think that's going to benefit Benjamin Sesko a ton. I think when he's back, I think having a striker with those instincts, he's going to score a bunch of goals because he's going to get a bunch of opportunities created for him. Because we are creating, if you're watching United play right now, the one thing we do not have an issue with is we are getting the ball into the box. We are playing in the box. Unlike last year, where the biggest issue you had with Eric Ten Hag's football was it never felt like we played in the box. It always felt like all our goals came from outside, unsustainable. There's different elements of the Amarim system being unsustainable, but that's not one of them. I think that's one thing that I do look forward to us doing more in the future. I honestly am a bit worried about AFCON because Ahmed Mbeumo, the right-hand side of our attack, is the most dangerous. It's the one that provides basically a lot of problems. People are going to hate on Bruno all they want, but at the end of the day, Bruno Fernandes has just been, even like last game, like I get it, he has his off games, his good game, whatever, but when he is on, he is unplayable. Like he's unplayable. He sees.
Oh my goodness!
He makes passes. People just
Please.
He's to me he's still just.
I listened to all of that, and then I heard that, and that was what woke me up. I was like, "What? Unplayable?"
Yeah, when he's on,
Give me a break.
there's not much you can do about him. There's not much you can do about him. He sees like the
Tons
pass
you can do about him.
The pass to Mount was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It's just that type of play. And honestly, for me, I look at Mason Mount, and here's a player who's much maligned for like, oh, being a bust, this or that. As long as when he is healthy, he does what you expect him to do. And this is the problem. I'll use the same thing I say to any player who gets healthy a lot, who gets hurt a lot, is that is the most important part of availability. If we can
wait, you were talking about Mason Mount was unplayable or Bruno?
No, Bruno. I'm just giving Mount.
I was wondering. Okay.
No,
Either way,
yeah,
it don't matter, man.
No, I'm giving Mount his credit now.
No. Bruno, I agree with Bruno. Bruno, when he's on form and he's clicking, he's unplayable. But the problem is that he's not in form. Like he's quite inconsistent. That's the issue.
Yeah. But that's But honestly, that's the problem with that is because like Ashraf, that is literally just kind of who he is. That is his game. Like he's a Jekyll and Hyde player. And it's like it's something you have to like learn to accept, which is you don't
Unplayable
want
is strong.
He's a huge Jekyll and Hyde player. Because there's games.
I think if you have a very, very good 6 and a very good 8 behind him, and you don't give him any of these defensive things and just get the ball to him in the final third, I think he's the most lethal midfielder in the league in that regard. The problem is, sorry, go ahead.
We just need him to do a whole bunch of stuff, right? So it's like you see it. You saw it 2 games ago before the two. It's like he's one of those. He's an enigma. He's an enigma, and it's hard to talk about. But one thing I do think is I look at Mount and I go, nice. At least you looking like a squad player. I don't think Mount should be starting every game. I don't want him to. But I'm saying, hey, I can see your role in the team. I can see your role in a different system. I can see how you fit. And that's all I was really like.
He's gonna start anyway once Mbuemo go to AFCON.
He's gonna start a lot, exactly.
But yeah, I know what you're talking about. Me and you spoke yesterday on the Football Terrace about the match.
Dennis, don't you feel embarrassed that this football club is near you? Honestly.
No, we're still figuring it out, but I know what you're pushing at. The way
Chelsea
I laugh,
figuring it out is crazy. We're figuring it out, bro.
The way I laugh.
Chelsea figuring it out.
That was
Figuring it out.
We're still figuring it out.
Oh my God.
We're still figuring it out.
Dennis is very objective when it comes to everything. And then we mentioned Chelsea and all of the activities out
I
there.
will raise my hat to Kev.
Dennis, I'm not gonna lie. That line didn't help you, bro.
What? What's wrong with figuring? Why can't we be figuring it out? What's the issue here? What's the issue here?
You cannot say that, bro.
Why not?
Not with the kind of money and everything.
Yeah, money don't mean
year
you
4
figured it
into
out.
this project. What are we doing?
Money don't mean you figured it out.
You've had your
that was funny. And the thing is, Dennis is a very realistic Chelsea fan. So if Chess or someone else said it, you would be like, "Oh, bro, there's the Lulu." For Dennis to say it, it's even funnier because you know he's realistic and figuring it out.
There's a lot of fine reasons to cope with where they're at. The difference is,
figure it out, Habibi.
I'm happy with where I'm at because it makes sense.
Because you are figuring it out.
It doesn't make sense for your team. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. United are figuring it out. That makes sense. Yeah. But Chelsea should not be figuring it out at this point, bro.
I don't know.
Chelsea should have it. Chelsea should have it figured out, and they have a goal of a year, maybe 2 years.
Watch. Chelsea played the most games in this calendar year. It is normal.
Anyway,
what do we speak about?
If you thought Chelsea were supposed to be contending this year, then that statement I made makes
I'm sure those 4 games against Flamengo and
I
Santos
don't think they should be contending. No.
Okay, so
but Dennis,
figuring it out still applies.
You should be cemented top 4, though.
No, yeah, exactly. See, for me, Dennis, because I know you never said you're going to win the league or you're even going to be in the title race. So I that's why I'm not holding that against you. However, I think your club at this point, Neuer, what a save. I think your club at this point should be, they're playing now against Sporting. They should be comfortably finishing in the top 4, in my opinion. Comfortably. And next year, you should be challenging for the league.
Why do you
the
not
fact that
Sudan, you loser?
Yeah, Habibi, stop. I'm not going to watch that. I saw the score. We're losing 1-0. I'm not even going to switch it on. So I'm saying, like, for me, the way you guys have been in the last couple of years, and I'll give credit to the process. You have been progressing. You have been getting better. But figuring out should not be something at this year. You should be comfortably finishing top 4 and challenging for the league next year. Now, you might comfortably finish top 4 later, maybe. But as things stand today, it doesn't look like it'd be comfortable. It looks like it's going to be a fight
Okay,
top
so
four.
if we miss it being comfortable and we challenge next year, I think we're right on schedule then.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
But,
so
but
there's
his
no
problem-
problem.
I want to say
But-
something.
but-
I said
sorry,
yesterday.
supposed to challenge this year though.
Wallah al-Azim,
Just
I'm
one-
going to say
one
something.
last counter and then I'm
Wallah
gonna stop.
al-Azim,
Wallahi, Momo.
one thing, Wallahi, Ashraf. I think
Okay.
teams should be judged this season based on who you finish above and who finished above you, because that is the indication of how the league. For example, if Aston Villa finish above Chelsea, even if Chelsea get Champions League, I think questions should be asked. If Everton get fourth, for example, and Chelsea finish fifth, right on schedule, getting Champions League, questions should be asked. You should be
Agreed.
judged based on who finishes above you. Like, for example, if Man United under Amorim finish third, let's say, or fourth, I'm just giving it, and Chelsea finish below them, even comfortable in Champions League, questions should be asked, because that is the indication of how strong the other teams are. So for me, looking at Aston Villa bowling now under Emery, and looking at Crystal Palace being ahead of Chelsea and Man United being the same, this is where I'm a little bit hesitant, because I'm expected, as Cam said and Ashraf said, to be comfortably in your spot, not fighting with the likes of Villa or United or Everton. And I've been very
I'm
consistent.
actually glad you cut me off, because that point of yours is better than the point I was going to say. I agree with that, to be honest. Like if Villa and these teams
Guys,
finish
they're
above
just
Chelsea, which,
figuring it
look,
out.
probably won't happen. But if they do, then I think that is
And there's
like,
a
you could
difference.
Yeah,
probably look at that as
I mean, if, right? Like,
But I'm not
Does
unfair.
anyone-
now.
does
No,
anyone
I'm not,
believe
Dennis,
that-
I'm
does-
not unfair. I'm not
no, but does
unfair.
anyone believe that Aston Villa and Crystal Palace are going to finish ahead of Chelsea? Anyone actually believe that?
I don't think.
I
Crystal
don't think
Palace will.
Okay,
I think
so what are we
Crystal Palace,
talking
We're
about?
already seeing the 2 games a week thing is really that there's a team that can complain about too many games.
Yeah, you're
The
not playing
squad-
FC Noah every week.
The squad's just not. Yeah, but
Villa
why is that?
maybe, but Crystal Palace no chance.
Villa might.
I don't think Crystal Palace will.
Villa might.
But I think
Yeah,
there is
no
a
chance.
possibility. But I think there is a possibility that Aston Villa finish above Chelsea and
but
Chelsea
can I
get
say
dragged
something?
into a top 4.
Can I say
By the way,
something
Yeah, we'll see.
currently, guys, I just want to say, currently as it stands, someone yesterday on our stream, I don't know which stream it was, Sam or something, said that actually currently fifth doesn't get Champions League in England.
Yeah, I was hearing that too.
Oh, it
I
doesn't?
still think it needs to be
Oh, it doesn't.
defined. It's based on where the coefficient,
Yeah,
right?
but
So-
eventually Arsenal and stuff they'll do well in the
But
Yeah,
you don't know
well.
if PSG will go to far and
That's
Barcelona
true.
will go far. You don't know that.
True.
Even
Marseille.
if it's not just about Barcelona and PSG, it's about the other clubs. You're representing Spain and
Yeah,
Exactly.
yes.
So Atletico
Yeah,
and
that's the
Villarreal
point.
and all these would have to do well.
But you
That's
don't.
what
we're-
Maybe
what-
Spain will. I don't know, but currently, as it's, I
Well,
think
Crystal
you
Palace
get.
will also
foregone
help.
Yeah,
conclusion,
as
but
an example,
certainly-
Atletico aren't making it through to the next round, so that affects the
Bilbao
Spanish.
probably also won't. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bilbao, so that
And
affects
you
the
gotta-
Spanish.
I
thing.
think
You
you're
get
right.
it?
I think
Villarreal
it's
probably-
France and Spain
Villarreal
that
won't
are
either.
that are two.
We have Arsenal that will qualify for sure, City that will qualify
Man
for
City.
sure. Liverpool
Probably
and
Liverpool.
Chelsea probably will be in the playoffs at least. So that
Yeah,
increases
exactly.
the thing.
And
I'm
then
saying
you
at
have,
least
then you,
then,
but
so
then you
that's
also
like
have Crystal
15.
Palace that helps your coefficient. Like there's other because they're gonna do decent in that conference league, like Europe. But there's
Yeah, they can win the Conference League.
like at the end of the day, like I think England will be fine. It'll be crazy if we're not. So when you look at like last year's table, Chelsea was in 4th, and they were 2 points behind Man City. They were 5 points behind Arsenal. I just think like. But I think it's a bit of a cop out to be like, well, we finished 5th this year, like we're on schedule. It's like you're actually not. You took a step back. You have to now. I get what you're
I
saying.
agreed with Cam.
It's like if you finish 5th this year, and then yes, next year you are flying and somehow all season in the that is actually more unrealistic than
Yeah,
you
I was
going
gonna say
5th
that before.
than you being 5th this year and taking a further step back, because that's how correlation works. It's like you're going this way, you're not going up
No, but again, like you guys are making these blanket statements based on what?
this year.
Okay, so
Based on what we've
what is
seen.
it about? Like, what is it about taking a
Why
step
is it
back
a
this
blanket
year? What is it
statement,
about
though?
taking a step back this year? That doesn't mean that you can ascend the next year. That doesn't make
No, you
sense
can,
to
you
me.
can, but we're talking about probabilities, Dennis.
Okay, so
if
let's
you finish,
What's
If
the
you're
what's the
progressing,
probability you mean based on?
I'm sorry,
You
Cal.
actually
I'll
think
tell
that
you,
this
I'll
Chelsea
explain.
team
Dennis,
I'll
I'm sorry,
explain.
guys. I gotta
This is
interject
done-
again. I'm
ridiculous.
gonna
One second,
interject
no,
again.
no,
Dennis,
you cut me off
sorry,
last time. Please, let me finish. Please, Habibi. I am the one who knows the process better than anyone because I've gone through it at Arsenal, right? So I can speak on
You're
progression.
still in it.
I'm telling you, exactly. We still are. Inshallah, it'll be done this season when we win the league.
Sure.
I think when you're progressing year on year, it's easier not only for players mentally and even for your team and finances. I don't know how good your finances are at Chelsea. I'm not sure. I haven't seen, but I think if you keep progressing the way you have, and you have been progressing the last 3 years, to be fair, I think that gives you a better probability of progressing again next year. Because let's be honest, if you finish top 4 comfortably this season, you would logically say the progression next season should be winning the league. But if you have a regressing season, there is a chance, unless you have an amazing summer, and you probably know your club, you know your club better than us, so you can probably enlighten us if you think that'll happen. If you have an incredible summer, yes, that can not Garnacho. I mean, an incredible summer to compete. I mean, then yes, it can offset the fact that you didn't progress.
That's not what they do, though, Ashraf. So this is
okay. So here's how I see it.
We are going to
Chelsea
maintain
this
scenarios where Chelsea goes sign Van
here,
Dijk and Alisson. It's not
so
what they do.
let's just say that last year and
They
this year is
signed
the same, right? Chelsea are at this level. There's a team that is now ascended above Chelsea. Like, let's say Aston Villa for that reason. Chelsea have maintained this level, right? That's their floor right now. And then like Aston Villa creeps up and gets into 4th or whatever, or 5th or 3rd or whatever. They're ahead of Chelsea. That doesn't mean that Chelsea are not in good stead to challenge for the league next year just because one team has usurped them. It just means that they're steady Eddie right now. They're building on what they're doing. And then when they go into the next season now, if they get that little kick of whatever, somebody comes in, players mature, they can ascend from there. It's not there's no correlation between a team finishing above you by a couple points and you automatically dipping downward.
I will back you on one point. I will back you on one point. Your players are young. Your players are young, so they will keep improving year on year.
Couch critic, bravo. You won. You won this debate by saying one thing, by dragging all the panel to next year's challenge. If we challenge next year, we'll be fine. We're analyzing this season. Everyone was talking about it. You, bravo, you did it.
Who here is that Chelsea supposed to challenge?
You made Ashraf talk about next season and Hossam talking about next season. And instead of us talking about where you are this season,
okay, but
next season.
But you're making you're trying to make a point. Who here said that Chelsea is supposed to challenge this year? Nobody on this panel has said that.
Not challenge.
So everything. Where are we? What are we talking about?
Everything.
I think Mo said it in the summer.
Everything is
not win.
I'm going to tell you something. There is a difference. Sam, go ahead. Sam, explain the point that you know I'm talking
as well. I said that Chelsea needs to challenge. I think we need to differentiate what challenge and win is. Challenge is you not being part of the top 4 conversation, which you're now part of because you've created that separation already. You're 8 points behind. What's that called? Arsenal. And you're 7 points or 6 points behind Manchester City. So you're creating the separation. Now you're not part of the first league within the league table. You're part of the second league within the league table. So for me, the natural progression was to challenge, not necessarily win it, but just challenge for the league title. And even if you lose it, it's okay, but don't get dragged into a top 4 conversation. And now, factually, whether you like it or not, you're part of the top 4 conversation, which means, let's say you lose to Everton, which is a possibility, or you draw with Everton, and a couple of teams below you win, they're suddenly in 4th and 5th place, and you're now dragged into that conversation.
I mean, you know the conversation quite well. You know, the coming from champions to champions, right? Like, what are we talking about here? We all know it. We all know it.
We all
know it. Like, nothing is decided. Nothing is decided in December.
Everything I've said about Chelsea, you debunked just because Liverpool are shit. You're correct.
Exactly. So anyway, the courage that it takes for you to speak about Chelsea right now when you're languid in
I can speak about any football club I want, even from 20.
It's just the courage that you speak with. The courage that gets me.
Yeah, I allowed Chelsea fans to speak on my club when they were 12th.
But here's the thing.
Welcome to football content. Everyone's allowed to speak about everyone.
But what
is this?
Dumb logic.
Just because you didn't personally say Chelsea was going to challenge, like, I listen, I get it. We can't always answer for the sins of our club or our fan base or whatever. Yeah. But the majority of Chelsea fans, especially when they were going on their
talking to me.
Okay, so fine. I'm talking to you. Did you believe coming into the season that Chelsea would be top 4 solidified?
Yeah.
So currently, then now let's keep it to this year.
Oh my God! 1 week it is. You see, this is the thing. This is the problem that you got. This is the problem with content creation. 1 week it's this. Next week it's this. Next week it's this. Next week it's this. Over the course of the season, we're going to see that Chelsea is going to be comfortably in top 4.
I hear you. I hear you.
I agree. I agree with Dennis.
It's that simple.
I hear that.
I think they should. I think they should. I don't trust that.
They should, but I'm providing a counterpoint. So you're sticking to that. That is fine. What I was going to say is, since that is your belief, I mean, at this stage, there's clearly a wobble, There's no way you could put, I mean, maybe you can say it with chess, but at this stage, there is a wobble. At this stage, it does not look like Chelsea will comfortably be top 4. It looks like Chelsea has now been dragged into a top 4 challenge with the likes of Aston Villa, with the likes of Newcastle, with the likes of
Newcastle?
They're going to be like, I'm just saying, it looks like you've been pulled into a top 4 battle with the likes of all these teams. So at the end of the day, if Chelsea do not finish comfortably in top 4, will that change your perspective on challenging next year?
No. But here's the thing that I'm gonna dispel once and for all, because I feel like this happens way too many times. I remember like 4 or 5 weeks ago, we're talking about Chelsea's nowhere near the title race. Oh, this, that, and the other.
You are
win a couple games, and then oh my God, Chelsea's in the title challenge.
What?
Win a draw here, a loss here. Oh, Chelsea's out of the top 4 race. It changes week by week. The issue that we're dealing with right now is the fact that we're dealing with content creation. So every week we have to talk about what is happening this week, and it doesn't necessarily tell you what's happening over the course of the season. If you look at Chelsea from the beginning of the year till now, Chelsea is basically a top 14 without question. All right, like when you look at from the beginning of the season till now,
we're also dealing with a very unique league. This is like the first time I've seen a league be this tight, like this crazy in a while. Like I haven't seen this much, how close it's going to be.
Last year was pretty tight.
It didn't feel like this though.
Last year was pretty tight. Chelsea clinched top 4 the last day.
No, I get it going later on, but I'm saying at this stage, it didn't feel like Chelsea were going to be in that situation.
What do you mean?
You had a drop
last year?
off. Yeah, in mid-season, you weren't that bad mid-season.
No,
I'm going to tell you what. Can I tell you what is worrying, Dennis? I think what is worrying for me is I'm seeing kind of similar patterns to last season, which is in smaller team, which is you spoke about in your match reaction. Smaller teams, you don't see the same vim, you don't see the same intensity, you don't see the same focus from the top players and the players that should drag your team against the smaller teams like the big teams. Like how sharp was Enzo Fernandez and Reece James against Arsenal versus how unsharp they were against, for example, Bournemouth in the game they played. That is what is worrying for me, and that comes from management as well. I know that Enzo Maresca is a good coach. None of us here says otherwise. But being a good coach, it doesn't mean that you are consistent. It doesn't mean that. And that is one of the problems with Chelsea. And if you continue like this, you might get dragged. That the signs are there, because losing to Leeds, drawing to Bournemouth, that is not good, right? These are games that at least you should get.
So Mo, you expected them to be challenging at this stage right now, game week 14, right?
There is zero. I said after game week 10, okay, Dennis, about me, I said you should be top of the league. Did I or did I not say that in the summer? I said.
Okay, so you're saying they should have been in the title race at this point right now. Okay,
I thought that Chelsea today should have been in Aston Villa's spot, not in their spot.
Fair.
In Aston Villa,
okay.
which is basically, you just put that in perspective. I expected Chelsea to win the 2 games against the Leeds and a Bournemouth for them to be 6 points, 31 points today. Basically, that's what I expected. Right? You know what I mean? Or win against Brentford or something like that. Not up and down like this. And that is my worrying part about Chelsea. Even though Maresca is a good coach, being a good coach is not the only thing that matters in football. We have seen plenty of good coaches, right? It's about preparation, mental preparation, utilization of players, right? That's what Maresca, honest lot, basically, something like that. I'm not going to say the same, but because the fall is crazy. But for me, you didn't fucking sack Poch to stagnate from season to a season.
I don't think we've stagnated.
No. Between last season and this
You
season.
just said you maintained your level, which is the same
Like
thing.
my point, Dennis, is if Chelsea in this season in the same place as last season or the same way as last season, up and down, having a different form, that's stagnation. That is not improvement. With better players on paper, right? With better players on paper, right? With players gaining more experience, correct?
That's a different argument. I don't know about better players, but yeah,
I'm going to tell you what better players is not on. Can I need
more
to,
experience as a group, yeah.
Yes, and also individually, some of them better by years. The 23 going to 24 is improving, like a Declan Rice, like a Saka, like a Palmer, like a Caicedo, like an Enzo. Your more year in the league means supposedly, especially in that age, you're getting better. So it's a better player on paper. You get my point? Because you go together under the same coach. You gained 1 more year of experience. You achieved trophies in the Conference League. You lift, that gives you confidence. That is my point, Couch. If until I see consistency from Chelsea, I'm gonna doubt them,
Yeah,
right?
me too.
Because, and that is the reality. If you stagnate under Maresca, okay, so what was the point then? What was the
Yeah,
point?
I think what we've all outlined here, and I don't think this is down to a coach. I think it's just down to the fact that this is a young playing staff, and inconsistencies are always going to be a part of what they do, right? You know, like we still have the youngest team in the Prem, like we still do. You know, even after last year, the youngest team in the Prem, one of the youngest teams in Europe. And with that said, you know, what I've seen the last couple of years is that we're consistently inconsistent. Like the games that we go in that we should be, you know, winning, you know, like again, like there's no reason why we should go into Leeds and not win. There's no reason why this Bournemouth team who's been struggling.
There is a world where you don't win, and I spoke to you about this, where you pepper their goal and they had one counter attack and
That's
you're
not
unlucky.
what happened though. That's not what
Exactly.
happened.
That is my problem.
The
That's
tactic
not what
wants it.
happened in both games.
So for me, it, like again, like you've already watched my match review, so you know what it is. It's more about the most gifted players
You're
just
not
being
stepping up.
jaded,
Yeah.
lacking intensity and match sharpness. That's what it felt like to me. You know,
Yeah, 100%.
obviously Cole Palmer just comes back into the side. He didn't look anything close to the Cole Palmer we know. Enzo Fernandez for me is just like, he's Marmite to me. He's either hot or he's cold. You know, like he's not a guy that you can consistently rely on to deliver you the bullets. Even on the break, like you saw my match review, like what?
Yeah,
was
there were
that?
easy, simple passes that
Like, it's
Enzo
like
or Palmer
just-
or Kukurea just fucked up. Like simple
Just
ones.
pass it. Like it's simple
5-10
stuff
yard
here.
passes that are like very simple that they just didn't deliver, which is
Yeah, it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that like players of that ilk, that talent,
can miss
are
these
just-
simple ones. Yeah.
it's just like you can't complete a 5-yard pass. You know, like you're missing opportunities to play it in behind. Like so.
But remember, Enzo's better than Caicedo.
No, like let's. Okay, we all know that that's not really.
He muted his mic. He
Even-
muted his
even
mic
that
immediately.
I
Hey,
love
bro.
you. I love you, brother. I love you. But I think that should.
That was
even
one of
that
the worst
bearded
takes.
brother
I'm not
ahead of
gonna lie.
in front of me, I
Technically,
know
I
that that's
stick
not
by
true.
it, technically, which is what I said to begin with.
Anyway, we're gonna move on because I don't want to stay for a long time because we got watch-alongs, we got like the games to watch. Yes, they're here saying off topic, more prepared to get smoked today. Wallahi, if you still back this Arnett slot team,
Prefer to get smoked today. Yeah, okay, brother.
broski, bro. Number one, I really want Inter to win this game for completely even another reason. Just for the Carragher tweet that he said, he co-tweeted Salah's picture. That's how obsessed he is. And said, now I want Liverpool to win this game so bad. So he's like, to spite Salah. He doesn't want the team to win because of the team. To spite Salah, he wants
Dennis
them
and
to win.
Cam, this goes to our first argument, which shows you he's personalized.
Like, the guy co-tweeted the Salah's picture and said, now, so you don't want
All
the team to
Mo
win
did
because
was
of-
just post a gym pic. That's it.
and then he's like, now to spite Salah, he wants Liverpool. Like, it's ridiculous. To be
I
honest.
think we'll lose just.
It
'cause we're not
wasn't
good.
even. He didn't even quote tweet Salah. He quote tweeted Sky Sports. That posted a picture of Salah. This guy is mad.
He's obsessed. He's now. I think it's a personal thing now between both, and I really want Salah to prepare a very good thing, and I want him to insult him because I love this drama. It's fantastic, and we just live for it. Can a team be inconsistent and good at the same time? Chelsea.
No.
Question 2.
No, because being part of good is consistency.
No,
So yeah, that is the answer.
Chelsea are
Ain't the whole point of
consistently
being good, being
inconsistent. Like I've already said
consistent,
that.
It
Already said that.
depends.
We can rise on our day. This is why people
can
consider
Cam,
Chelsea to be a couple.
Cam, being inconsistent by definition means that you cannot be consistently good. If
It
you're
depends
Yeah,
what you're inconsistent
by
in.
definition.
It depends what you're inconsistent in. Because
Chelsea.
no, because put it this way: if you are inconsistent in one side of the game, and not the other side, you could still be a good team. Like if you have an inconsistent defense, for instance, let's just
No,
say.
then you're not a good team.
No, let me finish.
How can you have not a good defense and then be a good team?
I'm not saying not a good defense. I said an inconsistent defense, because an inconsistent
thing.
defense can simply mean you have a center back or two out, and all of a sudden they come back and then you're a good team. That's what I'm trying to say. As long as you have a consistently good everything else, then you can have an inconsistent team depending on why you're inconsistent. There has to be context.
That's true.
Okay.
That's a good
Because-
point.
because
United in 22-23, when they finished third, they were quite consistent throughout the league. Like they dropped some silly points here and there, but they finished third. They won a League Cup. Like
that has a bit of
cannot say-
extremism though. In that,
but
in
you
that
cannot say they were
example.
not a good team.
Because
though.
here's the thing.
Because the example of inconsistency is same team, 3-0 Barcelona, 3-1 Leeds loss. Same team,
No. So for
1-1
Chelsea-
draw against Arsenal at home, 0-0 draw
Listen,
to
no,
Bournemouth away.
Chelsea for me is
Exactly.
inconsistent as a whole because they have an inconsistent defense and attack. My point is to answer that as a general question that if let's say, okay, Arsenal all of a sudden starts showing inconsistency in the defense, we will know why because we'll be like, well, shit, they're missing like 4 center backs. No, I'm just saying, I'm giving an example, but the rest of the team.
No, I know, but I'm confused now. If Chelsea finished fourth at the end of the season, continuing with this inconsistency, but they finished fourth because in the end someone has to get fourth, are we going to say they're not a
Go
good
down
team?
there.
No, we'll say what we'll say is they were a good team that has some inconsistencies that need to be fixed.
Exactly, which means Cam's point is correct. You can be inconsistent and be good.
It really depends on what that inconsistent thing is and how you
I
address
think, I
it.
think you guys are missing. I think you guys are missing what the tone of inconsistent is supposed to mean. Inconsistent means when you're consistent, you're a challenger, right? When you're inconsistent, you're not challenging. When you're in the top 4, you're a good team. But is that really what we're after right now? We're looking to challenge.
No, I hear you. But
Right. So that you're not going to challenge when you're inconsistent like that. And then on top of that, this is why people pick Chelsea to win these cups and stuff like Champions League, whatever, is because we rise to the occasion against these bigger teams. Like you can never discount Chelsea in the cups for this reason. It's over the course of a season. It's over the course of a season where you need to, basically play more consistently against the top and bottom of the Premier League, where you're going to have problems. But overall, Chelsea have no problem with competing against the upper echelons of world football right now. That much has been proven.
it's fair. So
However, the same team that beat Barca 3-0 is the same team that drew with Karabakh. That's the definition of inconsistent.
That's true. It's a very good
Yes,
point.
Lewis.
Where is
yes.
that?
Yes, Lewis.
I
Yes.
don't know what's
I
funny.
just-
Forza.
Hussam is gonna do his thing now. Hussam is gonna do his
I
thing.
think there's
No,
Day
no,
one,
no,
I don't
no,
know
no.
what was it.
No,
Yeah,
you
I
wanna
know
know
because
what's
I gotta
funny?
move on,
Today-
I gotta move
on to the last
today
part.
a local
Can we move
scouser-
on to the last part?
Today a local scouser came in my chat and he was like, for the better of the club, I want Inter to thrash us. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? even
everyone
local
wants
fans
it.
are asking for this now. It's
On
mental,
DR
yeah.
Sports, a Man City fan mentioned this about their team, which brings us to Arsenal. Mo, clearly you're a fan of Ramadan ART drama. Wallah, ART is back in the days. Now it's CBC, NBC. It's all of it. But yes,
القاهرة والناس.
I stopped watching drama, but then since COVID, I'm back to the Egyptian drama in Ramadan, Muhammad Ramadan, and all these guys. It's happening, Mina. Going to the inconsistent team of Manchester City, I see a lot of Manchester City fans. I'm gonna be completely honest, surfacing now. You know that meme, the guy that comes out of the bushes, bro.
Yeah, Jay, prime
Bro,
example.
the Simpsons, yeah, bro, everywhere. Man City fans, and then they are. What is happening, Ashraf? Why are you laughing?
No, I'm reading a Liverpool fan saying Forza Inter. What the hell is going on? What is going? So wait, if Liverpool lose today, are Liverpool fans going to celebrate because they're like,
Yeah,
Salah
if
won?
Arne Slot is sacked, it's for the better of the club. Yes, I would do the same for my club.
Me
and I think
personally,
That
that-
is- I
Liverpool,
never.
Yeah,
I'll
never.
never
Actually,
support
I
them.
actually
That
I
will
can
never
see
be
that
me,
point.
but I can understand the tenor.
I get it,
So-
but
I'll
Yeah,
never
yeah, I
support
can- I
the
can see.
Liverpool to lose, but I do want
The only
Arne
time
Slot
you should
to
want your team to lose is when there's a benefit, and that's only in North America.
But if I ask Hussam a question, straight question, so we can move on. Hussam,
Yeah, the drop.
straight question. Hussam, if Liverpool win today and Arne Slot stay at the job, but you're 100% sure that if Liverpool lose today, Arne Slot will get sacked, which one are you choosing? Simple answer.
He knows
Simple.
the
By
answer.
the
but
way,
he
it's
doesn't want
not
to
that
say.
deep, bro. It's not
He
that
doesn't.
deep.
He doesn't want to say.
Like,
He doesn't
like,
get
like,
it.
Ashraf, let me
I'm telling you
introduce you something. When he says
100%,
Hussam, that refers to me. You see
Yes.
what it says behind me? Don Hussam.
I entered when
Hussam,
there
let
was
me
a
ask you a
silence.
question. And Ashraf
When there
was
was a
like,
silence, I entered
I didn't even answer, ya akhi. Relax.
because you were silent. That's why I entered.
I'll
I
never
answered for you.
support my club to lose ever because I support the badge on the chest, and that's what the club that I support. I'll never want my club to lose a game of football ever. But I can still want the manager sacked at the same time.
Guys,
We
tune
didn't
into the
answer the
Hussam watch along. and watch when Inter Milan score a 91st minute winner.
If Inter
Watch if he
score,
goes angry or he does this.
I'm just gonna laugh because we're pathetic. I'm beyond slamming the table and stuff. Go watch my reactions to the Leeds goals, bro. It's just expected. We
Fair.
suck.
Are
right
the
now.
lineups out yet or not yet?
No.
All right then. Arsenal, Ashraf, you're very confident in the group. Well, like, are
About?
you not worried? By the way,
But
there is a lot
Arsenal
of
winning the
Arsenal-
league.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are questioning now, saying that they're gonna bottle it. They're bottlers. Blah blah blah. You're not good enough. There's a lot of people, guys. Wallahi, this is not footy judge mode. Just watch the media. The questions are everywhere. Oh, you gotta watch for City. You gotta watch for this. Oh my God.
It's yeah, of course. It's you have to talk about something, right? Like you're not gonna, otherwise YouTube content will shut down. Like there's nothing to talk about. You have to talk about something. So, yeah, look, I am confident. I do think we're winning the league. Obviously the Villa defeat was not good. It was an upsetting result, but just I think we are way less inconsistent than Man City. One defeat, obviously people will say, oh, you've only won 2 of your last 5, but I mean, we've only lost 1 of our last 19. So this depends on how you look at it. And there's a lot of revisionism being happening now. I watched a couple of other shows where people are saying, oh, Arsenal have not been good against the big teams this season. And then they will name, like, obviously Man City and Liverpool that we drop points against, and Chelsea. And then they will name Sunderland. But if you're naming Sunderland, why aren't you counting Man United that are above them that we beat? Why aren't you counting Crystal Palace that are above them that we beat?
I don't think there's a
Why
lot
aren't
of
you
people
count-
making those statements, though. That's a silly.
There are, I promise you, there were many.
Actually,
I,
There is a.
I've
that
watched
statement
so many
Ashraf is
shows where they
saying,
were bringing it up.
it's not only pundits, Dennis. It's
Mm.
actually YouTubers. They're saying Arsenal should be worried because they dropped points against Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and these are the big teams they faced. So you should be expected better. I think Sam actually mentioned
Sunderland
this.
and like, come on now.
Sam
problem
didn't
that
mention
you
it
guys
that
do
way.
not-
Because they're
Sam didn't
mentioning good
mention it
teams
this way,
season, that's
but he
why.
mentioned it in a different way.
The problem that
Here-
you
here
guys
what
don't
Sam is
fucking
saying now.
understand is every single time Arsenal drop points, we come here and go like, this is not a big deal. You get 15 not a big deals in a row, and all of a sudden City are 2 points behind you. Oh my God, losing at Anfield is not a big deal. Drawing to Sunderland is not a big deal. Losing to Aston Villa is not a big deal. Many teams are expected to lose to Aston Villa.
It isn't a big deal, actually. You're right.
And then, okay, there you go. And then drawing to Chelsea is not a
Because-
big deal. It's a Stamford Bridge. And then all of a sudden, City are 2 points
let me
behind you.
finish.
So this is the issue. So now you're limiting the problem.
Okay, finish.
The thing that Arsenal fans are not getting, as someone who wants Arsenal to win the league, is you're just limiting your margin for error so much. Like, and you still have to go to the Etihad as well. So it's not like you have to go to City away. That's another thing you've got to keep in mind. So it's
Undefeated
just
their last 2 seasons.
and it's Pep Guardiola too. So this is the issue. So you've got to at least give yourself some cushion, like try to make it a 7-8 point game, because I don't think that these are the Sharks that we have seen before. This is not the Sharks. This is the Dolphins. The problem with Pep Guardiola is this bald bastard turns everyone into a shark in the last 3 months of the season, and he even did it
Exactly.
last year. And City could also strengthen it in January. So this is why, for me, like Arsenal should just build up a lead and start picking up results, like seriously, even against the
We
teams
did.
that they aren't expected to beat all the time. Like
We
they have
did,
to
though.
beat.
That's exactly what we did.
You didn't beat 10-man Chelsea. You didn't beat Aston
We
Villa. you didn't
we built a lead of 7
beat
points.
Liverpool.
So even though we built a lead, so Hassan wants to say you should build a lead so that they don't catch up. Okay, ma, we built a lead of 7 points. We went through a rough patch, and that's why we're still top of the league, because
It's 2
we had a
points.
gap of 7 points. So he's saying that this defeat is not okay, and this defeat is not okay. It is, because we have to look at the challengers. If I'm going up against peak City or a peak Liverpool, you're right, it's not okay, because they'll be top of the league by now. I'm going up against a team that's worse than me. So every point I'm dropping, they're dropping more. And you're talking about the 2 points behind you. Yes, the league is over. We know they have more difficult fixtures. Where have Arsenal and City's problems been this season? It's been away from home. Both of us at home have been near perfect. They've lost 1 game. We drew 1 game, and we won the rest. Both Arsenal and Man City. If you want to count Champions League as well, they lost at home in 1 game. We won every single game. Away from home is where both of us struggled. We dropped 10 points. They dropped 11. Go look at the next, 10 fixtures. They play Sunderland away. They play Palace away. They play Liverpool away in Feb 7th. They play United away, and they play Spurs away. Our most difficult away games in the next 10 games are Bournemouth, Everton, which are tricky. I agree, but they're not the level of difficulty that City has to go through. And then I don't know if you want to count Forest and Leeds as potential banana slips. They're not that difficult those kind of difficult games. So if you want to play that kind of game, I can actually say we're 2 points ahead of them. Even though we've had the harder fixture list, they still have to go away from home. They have dropped more points away from home than we have so far this season. And they've been more inconsistent than we have this season. What is their reason for losing away to Villa? At least with Arsenal, I'm not giving any excuses. I think we should have tried to win that game regardless. And we did go for the win. We just couldn't get it. What was their excuse for losing to Villa? Who were they missing? We were missing our 2 centre-backs and our third choice centre-back. Who were they missing against Villa when they lost? How come we went to Newcastle and beat them? How come Liverpool went to Newcastle and beat them? How come Spurs went to Newcastle and got a point, but they went to Newcastle and lost their first game against Newcastle in, 19, 20 games?
Yeah, in a lot of games.
Yeah. How come they got dominated and ripped apart at home by Spurs? Before people say Spurs always trouble City, Spurs have, the last time Spurs beat City at the Etihad was 3-2 like a couple of years ago. They don't beat them. They beat them at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They don't dominate them at the Etihad. How come City lost 2-1 to Brighton away? Like, was Brighton a very difficult fixture? Is that what happened? Like, people want to say all these things, but they want to use something on Arsenal. They don't want to use it on the other side. They rotated their place against Leverkusen thinking, you know what? It's Leverkusen. It's the Etihad. Our second team will handle them. They got whipped. And even though Haaland and all came in the second half, they still got whipped. So you can say your argument about this is not okay, this is not okay. The reality is we have been better. We've been more consistent. And they have the harder fixture list coming up.
Yeah.
This whole conversation, by the way, might... Sorry, Dennis, last thing, I swear. This whole conversation might... I'm not saying they might beat Crystal Palace. But if they lose or draw to Crystal Palace and we beat Wolves, which we probably will, what's going to happen now? Is the narrative going to change again?
Of course it
we
is.
lost 5 points. See, it's stupid.
Just like we told Dennis, yes, the narrative will change. Exactly.
And I agreed with Dennis. That's BS. You can't keep going up and down every damn week.
You have
That's
to look
stupid.
at the form table. That's what we're talking about. Not 1 and 2 matches here and there. Like, look at what's happening over the form. So here's what I'm saying. Okay. And I think that we're all pretty much still feeling okay about Arsenal, right?
Dennis won't agree with you, Ashraf. Want to bet?
Just let me talk, Mr.
Doesn't
Salah
matter.
FC.
You know?
Let me talk Salah FC, please. All right.
I am. I just went and got my Kiwis. Go ahead.
Okay. So the way I look at it is this, and I don't think that much has changed the last couple of weeks. I've been saying for however long that this league is far from over. If anything, I've only really been reassured by that over the last couple of weeks, right? It's the same form that this freaking guy, man.
No, he's doing Ziad's thing. I don't know if you know Ziad, Couch, but Ziad used to do this shit all the time.
Ziad.
Ziad, yeah, Chelsea.
Yeah,
He used to do this
Ziad
all the time when we used to do the streams.
It's
He
so
always used to do
distracting,
this shit.
man.
Champions League winner. Respect.
I would
yourself.
love some.
Liverpool,
Yeah, give me some of that.
Go ahead.
I
Sam.
love Kiwi.
Yeah. No, I just think that like nothing has changed for me. Like the form table is such that Arsenal's top of the league. I never thought that it was going to be a runaway. It's clearly not. It's going to be a fight to the finish. And this is just proving true. Like if you guys have the mettle and the resolve to last the 38 games with more points than City, for instance, then you deserve to be the title winners. But there was no way in no way, shape, or form that I was going to concede any sort of like title in game week 12, game week 13. And I'm glad that now that's come true because now it was just never going to happen. It was
Let me tell you the difference between people analyzing teams and people like analyzing other teams, right? Like I swear to God, this is how I hear. City will definitely get better because Rodri is going to come back and he's definitely going to get better, right? Definitely. There's no doubt about it. Okay. So you ask them, do Arsenal have absentees? They tell you, well, yeah, but they have the best squad in the league, right? Okay. Do you think Arsenal will be good if Saliba and Gabriel back playing together and they have Havertz and Jesus and they have the depth that you're talking about? Yeah,
But
but
get more Kiwis.
yeah, but I'm going to tell you guys how people answer questions. Yeah, but Arsenal already peaked. Because of my question, do you think Arsenal's peak, which is what you saw, 8 games winning streak, clean sheets, right? Do you think that peak without Havertz and Jesus, and that was with Madueke being out, do you think that team will win the league? Yeah, but also City will improve. Okay, so you're literally contradicting yourself, right? Because Arsenal, even that dip in form is happening because Eucharist was out and Merino was playing up top, and he's good. But again, are you going to rely on Merino? Are you going to tell me that any team in the world will win the league with Merino being the main striker for 38 games? Absolutely not. Are you going to tell me that Mosquera and Hanikape are good depth, but are they good depth to the point that they can go a 10 run of games together, even with Mosquera injured and having no center back available out of the three? No, but you know, City will get better when Rodri's here. Wallah al-Azim, these are the conversations. These are the conversations, guys, right?
Hypocrisy.
So I hear what people say. City will get better if Rodri goes back to his best. But let me ask the straight question to everyone. Which one is more plausible, right? In your mind, is more probable in your mind. Rodri going back to his Ballon d'Or best after an ACL and a hamstring injury within 2-3 weeks, or Arsenal getting back to their best once Gabriel and Saliba come back? Which one is more plausible to you guys?
Oh, definitely Arsenal. But
See, it's a very simple answer. I swear to God.
yeah, but like they
So-
still got to get back. I'm not. Is that what people are saying about Rodri though? Like they're going to get back to
A
the
lot of people are saying, okay, so this is the argument. When Rodri comes back, Man City speak is better than Arsenal speak.
Mm.
Okay, what
And look,
about
the two
Arsenal?
City fans in the comments mentioned Rodri. So you can tell that this is what City fan narrative is.
Okay, I don't know. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I
No,
think
you
that
know,
both
Dennis. You know, Dennis. You
I
can
am
you can
not
give
saying
Arsenal some
that
praise.
City
Okay.
does. I
You
am
know
not saying
this Arsenal answer is more
Listen.
plausible.
nobody is saying that City, oh, they're definitely 100% not going to win. I still gave them, even without Rodri, a 30% chance of winning it or a 20% chance, right? This might increase. However, I'm not changing my opinion because Arsenal lost away to Villa, to the same team that City lost away to, Villa, in the 95th minute, right?
Mhm.
Arsenal lost away to the Villa that won 8 games in a row. I'm not changing my opinion. Well, I will change my opinion if Arsenal lose to Wolves or lose to Everton. I will change my opinion. But I'm not going to change my opinion because Arsenal drew away at Chelsea. I'm not doing that, right? I'm not doing this
Mm.
because that is results-based analysis, not form-based analysis. If Arsenal form changed, yes, we need to change our opinion. But we cannot change our opinion now because Arsenal lost to fucking Villa, who don't lose a game at home.
Can we
That's
change
it.
our opinion because they drew to Sunderland? Can we change our opinion because they
Mm.
drew to Chelsea or no?
No,
Because City
No,
also
I-
drew. That's why City also lost. That's why. So
No.
it's not like
No,
it's not
I
like
think-
we drop points and our rivals kept winning.
City beat
That didn't
Sunderland,
happen,
haven't
right?
played Chelsea yet, and City will beat Chelsea.
Yeah, but they lost to Villa and they lost to Newcastle and they lost to Brighton and they lost to Tottenham. So I don't get your point.
So, Hassam, are you going to change your opinion if Chelsea go to the Etihad and get a point?
Habibi, I think Arsenal will win the league.
Masha, okay.
So
Are
then
you
what-
going to
But I'm worried.
Why is he not
Because I
going to
don't
answer
want
the
City to win the
questions?
league. I'm worried because I don't
You-
want City to win the league. That's why.
Why
That's
are
what's
you never answer the question?
that's what's irritating me. Like these guys need to just fucking focus, man. Like
They need to
just
fix up. Ashraf's point is that they don't need to fix up. There is no problem to fix up. That's Ashraf's point. It's not that big of a deal that it need to be fixed, as people want to say. Oh, you need to fix up. It's not that big of a deal.
Exactly.
Now, I understand if people are saying that Arsenal will lose to Wolves or you will lose to Bournemouth away. Do you play Bournemouth away or Everton away or something like this?
Everton away and Bournemouth away in the next 5 games.
Okay, if you lose
Line
these
up
2
out,
games,
line up out.
okay.
Yeah,
Who
we
would
saw
you-
it already. It's not
Alisson,
going
Gomez, Van Dijk, Konate, Robertson, Soboslai, McAllister, Curtis Jones, Gravenberg, Ekitike, and Isak.
I knew
Yeah.
this is the lineup because I actually just saw the tweet before.
like a
That
4-4-2.
Hey,
Hey,
Ver-
watch
Ver-
this. Yeah, watch this. Remember what I said about his man management? The bald bastard dropped Verts.
Oh, he's injured. He's injured. That's what I was about to say. If you let me,
Verts is on the bench.
yeah, he has a knock and he has started on the bench.
He's on the bench. He's on the bench.
He has a
Don't
knock
say he's in-
to start on the bench.
Okay, fair. Well, I'll check
what
if he's.
he said.
there's a knock.
But I knew that this would be the lineup anyway. To be honest with you, anyway, this is the lineup. To be honest, but Inter are starting.
Yeah, I mean, I leopard in the tree. We're the tree itself now. Be quiet, please.
Let me do the super chat so we can get out of here. Actually, same Arsenal fan who said Verts will be Premier League best. Dog shit.
Yeah, I was
opinions
wrong
all
about
the-
that. I sorry, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Dog shit opinions all the time. It's actually amazing how delusional you are when you lose every year.
It's funny that I'm me praising a player of another team makes me delusional. So if I don't know who you support, but if I said something good about
City,
your
of
club,
course.
you
City, of course.
yeah, if I said Shirky's the best midfielder I've ever seen to play in the Premier League, you would not be saying that. You wouldn't be saying that's delusional. If I say Foden is the best midfielder to ever play in the Premier League, you wouldn't call that delusional, even though it is delusional, right? So it's weird. Like you're calling me out for my opinion about another club. So stupid.
Subscribe to Carragher Talks Football, please. Anyway,
Yeah, I
next.
mean, Hussam backed it as well when I was saying in the summer Wirtz is the best 10 in my opinion based on what I've seen. He loved that. He used to glaze it and ask Ashraf. He watches the Bundesliga. How do you know? Do you know more than Ashraf? Now, because he's embarrassed, he's like,
He's right.
I subscribe to Carragher watch football.
Yeah,
Sometimes
Carragher,
Carragher watch
because
football.
you backed him over Salah. Yeah, Ahbal, not because of Wirtz.
Yeah, Hayawan, I backed him because he was right in his thing. I didn't back him because of his personality. He was right. Salah is being a child. He's being a
I
child.
think we can get slapped today, I'll be honest, but we'll see.
You must get slapped for the better of Liverpool Football Club. Arsenal does it so many
Liverpool
times
win.
when they are having a healthy lead. Actually, when they're having a healthy lead, they become complacent. They need to be what?
Earnest, in my opinion.
Earnest.
Yeah, okay. I don't know.
I think we are, man. This is not like last season at all, AMT. I disagree. Even the games we've lost or dropped points in, nobody can blame us or nobody can accuse us of not trying. Remember last season where we used to drop silly points to Newcastle and Fulham and we really looked lackluster. We were playing conservative. People were saying Arteta's a terrorist for the kind of football he's playing. I was one of those, I'm not going to lie. This season, it's not been like that. The games we've lost or dropped points in, we've really gone for it. We've attacked. We've tried to create chances. We've just been unfortunate. Like Sunderland, for example, we were all over them and ended up losing in the last
game.
second. We're not going to win every game. Exactly. Stupid.
100%. Inshallah, Egypt go far in the World Cup and win AFCON.
That's not.
I don't think we're gonna win AFCON, but I don't think we will win AFCON. We don't have the team, but I want Egypt to do good in AFCON. Carragher is gonna cry about it. Carragher is gonna talk about it anyway. But listen, people, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Of course, I'm doing a watch along. Sam is doing a watch along for Liverpool, of course. And once, we'll see how it goes. We'll see you guys on MHF after the game. Actually, on MHF, me and Osam. I need to go and watch that as well. And I will see you guys later. Thank you, Couch Critic, guys. Make sure to check out Couch Critic in the description for his Chelsea review. Absolutely brilliant review, of course, on the Chelsea versus Bournemouth game. Ash talks football as well. Ashraf talks football. And Don Osam, who's doing a watch along. I'm going to see you guys on the watch alongs. And we are out of here.